when it was revealed. This is, I mean, if I don't understand that, I don't even understand what's the Quran, right? You got to understand, this is a basic thing. The Quran is not changed, meaning what? That means that every time people said it, they said it exactly the way it was. In other words, they didn't add to or take away from. It's exactly the same. This is why sometimes you hear people when they say, Allah is Haqq. Well, that's His name, Al-Haqq. The Deen is Haqq. It's the truth. The Quran is Haqq. And Prophet ﷺ is, of course, on the Haqq. So this Haqq, or truth, absolute truth, is, we take it for granted. This is why when they want to compare their books, whatever they have, we're not going to accept that. We listen to them out of politeness, we listen out of curiosity, but never would we be able to accept even the first verse when they start to recite it, especially if you've heard the Bible in Arabic. Anybody heard the Bible in Arabic? I left it in the room in the hotel. I wanted to bring it and let you hear it. I just wanted to let you hear it. But for whatever reason, the Lord didn't let me bring it. I didn't think about it till we were gone. But you can get it anytime you want to look at it. Any hotel or motel has, right beside the bed, a little nightstand or something there. You pull the drawer open. There's a book in there. What's the book? It ain't the Yellow Pages. Somebody already beat you to that one. No, it's the Bible. And it's put there by the Gideon Society, and they're proud of the fact that they have translated this into 27 different languages. And they will show you that with an example of a verse in the Gospel of St. John, chapter 3, verse 16. They call it John 3:16. It's the one, if you've ever heard them preach it, they say, "For God so loved the world," and they go on from there. When it says that, and you find the word Allah in the Arabic, which is the second language, first one is Afrikaans in Arabic, you see it, says, "For Allah so loved the world." So it's very clear, but when you try to read it, you're going to look at it and you're going to say, oh, it's not even correct grammar. If you know Fusha, which is the Arabic, classical Arabic, and you read it, you're going to go, who did this? You will never be fooled, not even for a second. I was thinking, actually, when I was looking at it tonight, that when we have these opportunities, when we have so many of the Arab Christians who do come to the programs, and they want to do this attacking thing that I was talking about, and by the way, it happened in Sydney the last time I was here, really nasty. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be something to let them say, okay, you got your guys with you, choose whoever you like, let him stand up, and then choose any verse you like, and if you don't have one memorized in your language, because they won't, here's the Bible that we pulled out of the hotel. Just read that verse for us in your best voice. Go ahead. Then, listen to this. Choose any one of our guys that memorized the Quran. Anybody, I don't care. Pick the one you like. And then you go pick the verse, any verse you like from the Quran. Okay, then you recite. We'll let our guy recite. And let all those who don't know listen and see which one they like. I have no doubt what will happen. Because I've seen people who didn't know anything about Islam, Quran, Arabic language, nothing. Yet, when they heard Quran, all of a sudden you see tears start coming down their face. And maybe they'll even say, what is that? One time I was giving a lecture for the elderly in San Antonio, Texas. They asked me to come and talk about what is the Islamic perspective on death and dying. So it's for old people. And in it I had recited some Quran. My voice is not all that great. And I don't claim to have a very good, qira'ah of Quran. But Anyway, after it was over, this old man came up to me, and they were all thanking me for coming out, and they're very sweet. And he said, "Man, that's the best singing I ever heard." I said, "Singing?" I was thinking, I didn't sing anything because, I used to be a Christian and I was a music minister, so obviously I'm thinking, did I sing something? But he was talking about the Quran. So how much we've got going for us and we take it for granted. Let's talk about hadith. Again, truth is critical to us. Do we accept hadith if somebody come in and say, "Hey, here's a hadith, blah, 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 blah." And you say, "Well, I never heard it before." And the guy says, "I didn't either, but, I saw it on the back of an advertising on something and it looked like a good hadith." So where did it come from? Nobody knows. But still, it sounds nice, So let's use it. Incorporate it into a talk or a program. Nobody would do that. They wouldn't do it. Where did it come from? You don't know where it came from? What book did it come out of? Who cares? It sounds nice. Something really nice. You get those probably on the internet. You get email. Some brother or sister will send you something and you read it and you're going, this doesn't sound right. But they're telling you, if you pass this on to X amount of people, or somebody else got it and you passed it on and they got some money, and the other guy, he didn't pass it on, he dropped dead the next day or something like that. You're going, wait a minute. I'm definitely not going for this now. This is not Islam. It doesn't work like that. We're not going to be impressed if you come up with a hadith, especially if there's no Arabic for it. Say, what's the Arabic for it? Nobody knows? You don't know where it came from? I'm sorry. I don't think it's a hadith. I think you pulled it off the internet. I think you got some little warm fuzzy that somebody sent to you and you just put a Bismillah across the top and a Assalamu Alaikum across the bottom and sent it out to everybody on your list. I think that's what you did. Yeah? You know what I'm talking about. You've seen them, right? So, but if somebody shows you where the hadith is, in Sahih al-Bukhari or in Sahih Muslim, and you can look at it and you said, there it is, right there. All of a sudden, this is part of our deen. It's not just a nice saying, it's part of our life. It's not an option to us all of a sudden, it's real. Yeah? Okay. For the other people, they don't have that. They don't even know what that is. They've never been exposed to real truth in their lives. They use the word. They know there's a difference between a lie and the truth, basically. But for many, even people with education, even people with degrees, people with social status, people with responsible positions in the world, still have trouble differentiating between the truth and falsehood. Is that right or wrong? Remember Clinton? I did not. You remember what he said? Huh? And when they caught him, I won't say red-handed, but they had clear proof. And what did he say? What I meant was... Did he? Yeah. And what about Nixon? Maybe some of you are too young to remember Richard Milhouse Nixon. I was there. I remember it real well. He put his hands like this. He said, I am not a crook. And then they proved that he was a big liar. What about the one we got now? Now remember, I got to go back home, so I'm going to stop right there.